Alright, here's the Ritualist. I don't like this build so much. It's okay. Um, Almost maxed out that. Decent OA, DA. Okay life. Decent phys res. Pretty good cast speed, which doesn't really matter because it's a cooldown caster. Vitality damage 2600. Uh, Vitality decay 2200 with 120% duration without any buffs. So it's not bad. It's a gun caster, which means you have to keep destroy objects on move only, which means you're going to get killed a few times. Um, you basically, once they add the new, I mean, you could already remove these, but I like to have these to keep my counter of how many potions I've used. But you have to put an attack button on your thing if you want to not die to bosses and super bosses. Um, when I pop my buffs, I get a lot more HP and a lot more phys res. My vitality decay goes up to 2500. Vitality damage is 2900. Um, OA is almost 3000. HP is 24,000. Phys res is up to 48%. So it's pretty good overall. Um, and my vitality, when I pop my buff, my vitality goes up to 3000, over 3000. Vitality decay is 2600. So it's overall really solid damage. 88%, what's it called? Poison res. And yeah, overcapped on everything. It also has Mark of Torment, which is really tanky. It's a dot playstyle. Um, you could overlap Ravenous Earth, but don't. It's not worth it to stand still and just overlap Ravenous Earth. The majority of your damage comes from Siphon Souls, which has a lot of vitality decay, and Devouring Swarm, which is one of your big debuffs. And Ravenous Earth is just kind of there to add more damage, just like another thing of damage. Same thing with Grasping Vines, it just adds more damage. um, Ill Omen adds you a debuff that also gives you Dryad's Blessing. It's just another button we have to press. Devotion wise, um, standard Vitality caster. Going Abomination, going Ratosh, getting. There's probably a better thing to get than this, but yeah, Wendigo, Bat. Half my damage is devotions, so yeah, that's the thing. Um, 1 point in this just to have the debuff, and it adds a slow. Max that out. I had to max out the mastery bar. I was actually thinking about replacing this with Wendigo Totem at some point because I am using the Dark One's gloves, and that makes Wendigo heal 4% more. So even at 1 point, it'd be not bad. Um, but I had to max out the mastery bar because I didn't have enough stats, and my spirit was so low that I was so out of mana all the time. Using this, it gives me attack and cast speed, which doesn't really matter. It gives me vitality damage and vitality decay, which doesn't matter because I don't do any abilities with weapon damage on it. No weapon damage, no weapon damage, no weapon damage, no weapon damage. So while I get to heal a lot, I just is not really solid. Like I got a lot of flat damage with no weapon damage to go with it. So I'll show you Krieg as usual. But basically what it is you drop all your dots and then you just run around in circles. You run away from the boss, and then you reapply your dots, and then you run away from the boss. You basically don't bother reapplying anything until Siphon Souls is off cooldown. Once Siphon Souls is off cooldown, that's when you stop and reapply all your dots. Against Krieg, you just have to stand still, but yeah, Siphon Souls is your main damage, followed by Devouring Swarm.
can't do that yet.
And yeah, it does do a lot of damage, but it has mana issues. A lot of mana issues. Like if you're trying to farm or level with it. I'm an elite. No wonder everything's dying so easily. Why am I an elite? Oh yeah, because I wanted to put new things on my thing. Well, snafu number one. Let's try that again. Yeah, still maxed out. I wonder why everything died so easily. Let's try that run again. At least it gives me the easy path this time. But you see how I'm suddenly stopping randomly? That's because my mouse is over top of an item. And again, I cannot turn off move to destroys objects because I have no attack that can destroy a wall. Like Devouring Swarm can't open a door. None of my attacks can open doors. So we got Krieg. Pop my buffs on him. Let him die. It heals a lot. And if it wasn't for it being a gun caster, it'd be nearly immortal. But yeah, things just die. And if you can live with that, and it has a lot of buttons too. It is a piano build. And you see how fast the mana goes down if you're actually just casting your spells, like when you're running through an area. You drop some, like even with all the like Mastery Bar and extra Spirit that I've added to this build, it's still draining mana fast. Anyways, we'll get back to it. Going to continue playing the other one in a little bit.